I chose the Me quilt to represent my writing autobiography. Tompkins talked about this on page 199 of the text, and I thought it was such a great way of expressing yourself, because it can be done in so many different ways, like how I chose Google Docs. A student could choose creating it themselves with construction paper and markers. And I just want this project to show how I've always felt connected to myself and my thoughts when I was able to get them out on paper or typed up, and how writing has been just a reliable outlet in my life. I am a writer who likes finding passionate topics to write about. I feel that if I'm not interested in what I'm writing about, I don't think it will positively impact whoever's reading it. Just like if a teacher doesn't seem interested in what they're teaching, I doubt their students will respond. And I'm also a writer who likes having options. I need freedom in choosing what I can write about, how I write it, really anything. I believe any type of option or freedom a teacher can give will make the experience more authentic for those reading, as well as whoever's writing it. I'm a writer who doesn't like sticking to strict guidelines, like I said before. I'd prefer to be able to write without extreme limitations. I understand guidelines that lead you in the right direction, but if there's a step-by-step process of how the paper is supposed to be written, I feel like that's not authentic at all. And this also includes being asked to plan out writing far in advance or ahead, because I really have never been one to use graphic organizers explicitly, so I really rather write as I go and at my own pace and edit as I write, which I know may not be the greatest thing, but it's always worked for me. As a student, my writing has always been well thought out and something I've been proud of. When I was younger, just showing how proud I was of it, I would hang it up on the fridge, hang it up in my room, wherever it would be shown off. I loved writing about myself and just who I was. And as I progressed and got older, my writing became more serious and content-based, like all of us do. And however, I've always taken it seriously, and one thing has remained consistent, which has been my enjoyment of writing and expressing my thoughts through it in words, no matter what the subject was. Personally, my writing is something that helped me get to where I am today. Writing really has been one of my strongest subjects, and it's been something I could resort back to when I struggled in other subjects, and it would make me feel like I had some worth when I was doing horrible in, say, math. I knew I was not gonna be left behind because I knew I could write and I knew I can do it and succeed. As a result, as a writing teacher, I really want my students to feel confident in themselves and in their writing, even if they're struggling or have a writing disability. I want them to be able to write with no fear of judgment. If a student or child has always heard that they're not going to do well in a certain subject, they will feel that from day one and not try. So I really want to transfer how I have a sense of calm when I write and how writing centers me. I would really love if that would transfer to my future writing students. And I really want them to realize all good students have to start from the bottom, and I want them to know that that could be them. As a writer, I'd like to know more about the most explicit methods of instruction when teaching beginner writers. I have always student taught in the middle of the year or the end of the year, and writing instruction has really been implemented, and I'm seeing what the students are doing now, and they are all doing great at it. I really would love to observe firsthand instruction on beginner writers. I think that would benefit me greatly. And I would rather it be younger writers too, because that is really when they were first getting the concept of writing and written language. So that's when they're either going to know that they can do this and move on, or when you find out that they are struggling and might be left behind. And as a writer, I hope someday I impact at least one person positively, whether it be when I teach my students or if I post an article or even a post on the internet. I would love it if it would fall into the hands of someone that really needed it. And I hope that someday I will encourage students to write without limitations and truly find their creative sides, because writing should be a form of self-expression, and it's a positive form of self-expression. They could really turn to other negative things, but I think writing really could be there for people in more ways than one.